small town Bihar. Bihar is a state which is just below Nepal. Uh, Probably the poorest and the most illiterate state of the country. So my story begins there. I grew up there, and things that I know about myself growing up was that I loved math. I loved math a lot, and I had a desire to make a lot of money. Right? So if you put the two together, this is the story of probably 20-25 years ago. At that time, probably I was maybe high school. So at that time, to me, that meant that I should go in engineering. So that became my career of choice. And growing up in Bihar and choosing that as a profession meant that there would be resistance from community. But I had one thing that was going for me was my mom. One tough cookie, and I'm very happy that she was there for me. And so I chose engineering as a career. I did electrical engineering. Then I went to US. I studied, did my master's and my PhD in Semiconductor Physics. And everything was really going good. And that initial trouble that I had with my community, because I wanted to study engineering, was, once you do well, everything is all right. So then I got the job, just the job that I wanted. It was in semiconductor manufacturing, and I couldn't have asked for more. I was very happy. I started working. I bought a house. We really wanted a music system, so I got the music system that I wanted. And as a student also, or when I was with my family also, when money was limited, we would think about things to buy. Like when we were students, a music system costed probably $200 or $300 in my college days. So we thought about, 4 roommates had to agree, and we bought the music system, and we went. The day it came, we had like a big party. We probably called everybody. We had a lot of fun. But when I made a lot of money and I bought the best music system that I wanted, it came and immediately became a furniture of the house. And it was very disappointing. And I realized that, there was so much I had, and from that day onwards, my feeling of self started to dry up. And I realized that I had made a very short-term goals for a very long-term life. I had thought of things about myself, that I wanted to do a master's, I wanted to do a PhD, I want to make money. I wanted to get a job that I want, but I had not really thought what I want to do after that. What to do with all that money. There is so much you can buy for yourself, and then what? So I was really stuck. So, which in other terms is called midlife crisis. It came a little bit early. I wasn't ready for that yet. So, if you're drowning, you really try to really swim as best as you can. You want to save yourself. So I went through that journey, and I started looking, what is it that I can do so that I can start nourishing myself. A tree has so many needs. So, and I started looking, what are those roots that I need to nurture. I really looked hard. I looked around, and I found that actually my community is my roots, about which I had not paid any attention. It was probably just about self. How is it that I can make myself better? And this is where my nourishment was there. And I found that my water is education, which I had really worked on all these years. And I thought, if I gave this water to my community, my tree of life is going to grow and would be nourished and would be healthy. And that really was what worked for me. So how did I do that? So I looked around and I tried to see what are my roots. And if I was so much in disconnect with my roots that I just really did not know. Growing up, because I had this love-hate relationship with my community, I really want independence. I really wanted that. Just to be free of it all, do whatever I want. But then I realized that no, I want those knots. I want to be tied down. I really want that. I want people to be connected to them. It is then only I would nurture. So I lived in US at that time. So I started looking and I looked to my Indian community. That became one of my nurtures. I started. I started running a school. It was already running. I joined that school there, and there were a lot of Indian kids who lived there, and I helped them understand that connection of culture with their roots, which was India. I started connecting with the immigrant community there, the community that comes to India and comes to US and was coming to US at that time, and they want to connect and they want to make my hometown that community. So I started working with them, the children there, as to how we can make them comfortable in the new hometown that they have found. I started connecting with our adoptive Indian families, American families who adopted children from India. I joined them, and there is a camp. This is a camp that we have been running for the last 7 years now. Meeting those families, their Indian children, and connecting with us to say that there is a connection that exists there. We are in it with you, and we want to nurture you. And and I realized that what I was providing them, it was nourishing me a lot. Then I found my connection in Rotary. Some of you might have heard of it. It's an international organization. I'm a Rotarian myself. This community gave me a lot. It connected me with my US community to my Indian community. The US community that I met was looking for how they can be useful, and Indian community here was looking for resources. And I became their liaison, and I connected the two. So I was nurturing my roots. And then I met with some excellent change makers in India and United States, who wanted to create a change in this world to make it a better place. And when I started doing this, I started nurturing my heart. I was very happy with my job, which was nurturing my mind. But I needed something to nurture my heart, which started to happen here. And then I again went back to, I'm the nerd that I am, and went back to education. Because I wanted to connect my engineering somehow with this community, and I went and did a Master's in Public Affairs from Apple Institute. And I realized that I had to replace the word engineering with education, and that's where the connection will be made. Because through my education, I had learned to do research. I had learned to find anything that I wanted to find, and I can find a solution. That much I knew. So that is what my education had prepared me for. And if I can do it with the community, I would see the results right away. So that's what I started to do. So now a few years ago, one important thing that I have to tell here, I talked about my tree of life. I forgot to talk about the trunk. So on the way, I fell in love and married. And the trunk of my life became my husband, who wanted that we have to move to a smaller community. We lived in a metropolis. We wanted to live in a smaller community. And that's when we decided that we are going to move to India. In a small town, in the foothills of Himalayas, and this is where we came. But this time I remembered my lesson of nurturing my community, because that is what is my strength. So now my village is my community. So what do I do in that village? Here we are a couple of friends together, and my family. So we give our time. Again, education is my theme. Remember that. That is how I find my nourishment, and it happens to be true for my husband also. So we went and we started. We have the local village that we live in. In our village, there is a village government school, and government schools generally have we have teachers, we have buildings, we have students. But what we have lacked is setting up the environment. So this is where we have stepped in. We have been going to that school for last 3 years now. We go every day of the week, about 2 hours a day. we have found, with our learning, we found that we really needed to provide a joy for learning, that learning is a very joyful experience. And then we wanted to provide, we wanted our kids to understand that there is a creative self in each one of us. And this is what we need to nurture. It is like, if when I had entered, I had seen, if you asked a kid to draw, first of all they would say, we can't draw, then I can't draw. I used to say that, so I understood that feeling. And if I really asked them to draw, the thing that they would draw is the flag of India, which probably was flying when the wind was probably 100 miles an hour, because flag would always be on a flat coast with a rectangle, proper rectangle, no waves in it. So I saw that, and for a while I basically told them I banned drawing flags. And we bombarded them with beautiful Hindi children's books that we could find. My husband has been looking for children's books for the last 7-8 years all over the country, and we probably have an excellent collection. Our kids get to read all that. We've opened a small 1-2-room library in our school. This is the library that we opened. We have about 40 kids there. Every evening they buy we loan out a book to them, any book that they want, depending on their reading level. And not only they read these books, their families, their parents, they can read. Most of them are first generation learners. Their siblings, their uncles, their aunts. So it is like a village property. We are not only work on learning, making learning a joyful experience. We are very interested in making sure that our students understand the basic maths concepts. You understand what is addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. We use a lot of Arvind Gupta toys that we just saw in the previous presentation. So it's like, when you say 2 times 3 is 6, our students should be able to understand that is actually 2 plus 2 plus 2 that makes 3. That you are adding 2 3 times. It's just not remembering the whole multiplication table. Or we want to develop a relationship with numbers. Like when you say 12, our students should be able to understand that it means 10 plus 2. It also means 20 minus 8. It also means 3 times 4, and it also means 2 times 6. So when you see, if you develop a relationship with numbers, then you should be able to feel them within you. It has to become experiential. If it is only in the mind, then it really doesn't last very long. Remember one quote that I read somewhere, that tell me and I will forget, teach me and I may remember, but involve me and I will learn. So that involve is a very important ingredient of what we are trying to do. And we have also realized that there are kids that have special needs, kids that need special attention. So now we have especially focused that we want to give individual attention to every child. Every child is a different kind of learner. Some are visual, some are regular learners, but they will read and understand. So we bombard them with toys, shapes, different forms, just whatever will work for the child. We have to kind of figure out. This is our 3-year-long journey. I'm not a teacher, I'm an engineer. We are just trying our best. So this is another expression of their creative ability, where we had taken these dupattas and bought longer dupattas, and around 16 of our students, we created a dance together. Here you see one of the patterns. They also weaved it in the dance, and they made a mat out of it. They made peacock out of it. It was just a fun experience that we were together in this journey. These are some of our school kids. So then this is my local village committee, and then connecting to my community in Bihar, where I was born and raised. There I have seen the struggles of how difficult it is during that time, and probably still true in small town India, for a girl to choose a professional career and to be successful at that. And so we work especially with Dalit girls in small Dalit are basically the most underprivileged castes. They are even outside the caste system. We work with these girls. We have now, we done 2 hostels, about 120 each. And me and my friends, the change makers of US and India, we together support about 50 girls every year for their, we can't provide them parents, which they leave behind when they come to this hostel. But everything, their food, their books, their dresses, just everything that you need except mom and dad. We provide that. We have been running this program for last 5-6 years now. And every year we're trying to increase the number of girls, because I strongly believe that my best bang for the buck is educating a girl child, because she is the one who's going to nurture the kids that they grow up. So if they understand the value of education, then I have taken care of the future. So this is another program that I run. Then I also serve as the Director of Sambhaavnaa. It's a public policy institute in Palampur, where our aim is to nourish young change makers, to create a just society, and to provide a forum for the critical discussion of issues of society and formulate them in action. This institute is still being built, but we have our first phase is over, so we have started conducting our workshops, and we will be doing our first summer program starting end of May, where we will send students to different organizations that are change maker organizations across the country, so that those who have this passion in them that they want to work in this field, they can come and learn. So, and this is a sustainable campus, probably the only sustainable campus of this kind, with this kind of mission. It's all built in mud. Built in all local materials, so mud, bamboo and slate. It is hybrid structure because we do use cement and sarya wherever we need it. So this is our main dining hall and lecture hall. This is our guest house. Yeah, this is DD contractors. Yeah. It's a beautiful campus, so if you guys ever want to come and visit, you're welcome. So, where is this? This is near Palampur in a village called Kandbari. It's on your way to Bachelor. So this is what I have found so far in my life, that connecting to my community has nourished my tree, and hopefully I will not fall in any more trouble. So it has been a wonderful journey so far and very learning experience. I wanted to share this with you. Thank you.